Isiah Factor Uncensored starts now. Former NBA player and assistant head coach Damon Jones has pleaded guilty in a major federal investigation into illegal sports betting and rigged poker games. But he is not alone. Statistics show sports betting in America has experienced a massive surge in 2025 and so far in 2026, with over $166 billion legally wagered in 2025, marking an 11% increase. And here's the dark side. Illegal sports betting and point shaving in the U.S. reached a critical point in 2024 and 2025, going from a small isolated issue into a significant threat to the integrity of professional college and sports. Let's get to our discussion. And joining us now to talk about this topic here on The Factor Uncensored, we have Brandon Johnson, former athlete. And Brandon, to hear that Damon Jones was convicted and, of course, arrested in fall of 2025, now entering a guilty plea. Are you at all surprised?
Honestly, I'm not. I'm shocked about the allegations and things as that such, but overall, me being a person that experienced the game fixing, the point shaving, being a person that went to prison, been incarcerated for game fixing, point shaving, those such things, once I saw the mafia that was involved and the titles that went with it, I knew it was way bigger. And for the feds and the people that's investigating, they're just small fish. And what happens is we see ourselves losing our names, our brand, our titles. So what they do is they pick them up first, and they know what follows.
Low-hanging fruit.
Right. And so they go into panic. The fantasy of when the feds pick me up, you got 20 FBI agents rush you, guns, as if you were a menace to society. But the fascination of that, immediately when you get in an interrogation room, it'll make you speak. And I believe Damon Jones saw so many things beyond not only jail time, he's seeing his whole legacy disappear. And so that makes you say, hey, let me go try to do the right thing. Let me try to clean this up as much as possible. On top, when you see the mafia involved, the FBI either coming, you're going to get jail time or you're going to spend a lot of money. They're not
Absolutely. And then you don't want to leave your family behind in a financial bind because now you're in prison. There's nothing you can do. Everyone feels helpless in that case. For those who are not familiar with your background and what happened, in a nutshell, really quick, because we want to talk more about this problem of sports betting here in America and the proliferation of it. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself, Brandon.
I went to University of San Diego. My upbringing came from a tough background. My mom, during the third grade, was incarcerated. I went through that journey, was homeless by high school. My opportunity came at University of San Diego by my junior year. I get an opportunity for the NBA. NBA starts looking at me, a foot in the door. What transpired in college was point shaving. Someone approached me about point shaving and wagering and things like that. I'm not thinking the magnitude of it. I put my hands in it. And when I was with the Washington Wizards, opportunity, 30 seconds, I lost everything. In April, the feds picked me up. I found myself by 8 p.m. that night in prison, sitting on top of the bed, wondering when everything went. I was involved with the mafia, things as that such. And so my firsthand experience of understanding the levels of what gambling consists of, the point shaving side of, just looking at the cycle of things, how everything is evolving, it's dangerous. I think the kids are not only performers, they're talent from a standpoint, but they're also part of the equation now. It's not just going to play basketball, because now I travel the world now speaking to universities about certain things, what to look for, speaking to the admin, the department, and it's highlighted at a very high level now.
Now, are we looking at the stakes being significantly higher with the NIL name, likeness, and all of that, where these athletes can make a lot of money, but also a lot of money could be gained if you get involved with this sports betting or shaving points?
And it's intriguing. I definitely think the numbers has went up just because it's so open. And then to to allow these to allow the cities to actually legalize sports betting. It's at the palm of your hands now, and so it's so dangerous because everyone is involved, and the more everyone's so connected. And when I was growing up, you couldn't reach out to me. This was a coach that pretty much came to me about the situation, and so for these kids, social media, you can connect with these kids immediately now, and so it's very intriguing if you don't know, if you're not one of those NIL kids, or you don't know when your next meal is going to come from. And a lot of these kids are about to graduate. You're not going pro. Hey, our opportunity comes available. It looks appealing. What do you do? And Damian Jones, sometimes you just don't know the reason why, but sometimes it looks easy. And the opportunity comes and you're saying, oh, no big deal. Who gonna find out? And that's when it hits you.
And, of course, we don't want to sit in judgment of someone, but you think about, former NBA player like Damon Jones and also then assistant coach, and you have to weigh what you could lose, but you're not thinking of that, right?
Yeah, it's such a... It's such a small window, and I don't know the risk and the reward. For me, the risk and reward didn't make sense. I ended up losing all my contracts, everything I worked for, the blood, sweat, and tears story. And to see it go and to see somebody risk it knowing, hey, you're already paid. You're already connected to LeBron, all these amazing people. And to risk it, you want to get in the head of these guys, and you're saying, hey, why would you risk all that for so limited, in a sense?
So what do we see in this country? We've seen a significant increase in the number of arrests and those who have been a party to illegal or sports betting. I think it was just earlier this year, 40 individuals implicated. Schools have been implicated. Can we get a handle on this?
I think it's going to be competitive. Because it's so in your face now. I think commercials, everything is dealing with sports betting, everything is dealing with gambling. It's so many commercials, even on breaks doing YouTube, even if you're just searching the web, it is being pushed at the highest level now. And I just think anything you see a lot, you become intrigued. And they've done a great job marketing it. Every athlete that you love is marketing. You got every YouTube sensation. All these guys are supporting this. And so when you're sitting there and you're saying, oh, I can make this in a couple seconds, anything you get good at, you grow. You either become great at being bad or great at being good. And when you're looking at that, it starts small, but you become a really great person at gambling and betting. And then you're looking for the next, just in a drug in a sense. You're looking for the next high.
You almost lose your focus. You become better at gambling than you do at playing the sports.
Exactly.
All right, Brandon Johnson, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. And for those who would like more information on you and, of course, read more about you or maybe meet you in person, where can they go to get more information?
Man, you can check my social media. I am Brandon Johnson. And then also check out our nonprofit, Education Through Experiences, www.noscriptnonprofit.org. And we're doing a lot of things in the community. And also, man, my team, Awake Basketball, AAU program. If you're looking for any teams playing some good ball, holler at me, man.
All right. Brandon Johnson, always good to see you here on The Factor Uncensored. And we'll be back with more Factor. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
This program.
And joining us now here on The Factor Uncensored, we have with us certified financial planner, Mickey McGill. Mickey, when you see those numbers, it's just mind-blowing to have someone make $300,000 to $400,000 to $500,000, and 40% of them in the sampling, mind you, living paycheck to pay. How is that possible, living paycheck to paycheck on that amount?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, right? Number one, when you're looking at people want to don't pay themselves first. They buy their stuff. They buy their house. They buy their car. Then they look at savings. And if anything goes wrong in their life, it's a watershed moment, right? 2020 happened. So many things went wrong. People lost jobs. People lost income. That's where a lot of those things come into play. And then when you look at someone making $300,000 to $500,000, chances are they went to extra schooling, and the pricing of college is so expensive that now they have a mortgage on top of their mortgage because of paying back their student loans.
And I've been looking at some of these podcasts where we have individuals as young as 25, 26, and they're calling in saying, I have over $1 million in debt.
Yes.
And I'm like, where do you get $1 million in debt at 25 to 28 years old? But then they talk about the advanced degrees that they have.
Most definitely.
$300,000, $400,000.
I was talking to one of my colleagues today, and his daughter is going to university here in Houston, and it's $98,000 a year.
Wow.
For undergrad, not even for grad school. So the price of education goes up about 7% versus about 3% when you look at inflation.
So individuals who may be on that $300,000 to $500,000, and we don't know, they may be watching The Factor, looking for some financial advice from Mickey here. What would you tell them in order to get their financial house in order?
Prioritize their spending, right? Looking at the budget, because it's not, as you see, it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep. The thing is, focus on the most important things that you want to spend your dollars on. It's about budgeting to what you want. So for me, I don't really care about food, so I bring my lunch in every single day, right? I care about my theater room. So the amount of money, if you look at, what is it, $15 a day for lunch, for dinner, that's $4,000 or $5,000 a year that you're spending.
Wow.
So if you're not, if it's not important to you, then budget around it to the things that are important. That's what I would tell people at this time.
It's like you're eating away your retirement.
Most definitely.
What happened to your retirement? I ate it. I ate it.
Very true.
And I've heard some experts say, once you write your budget down and you look at what you've spent, not your budget, but first of all, what you've spent in the month, analyze 2-3 months of data. I'm not sure. I'm telling you what I heard. I'm no financial expert, and I don't play one on TV. But anyway, writing down the amount you spend, and you'll be surprised on what you're spending your money on.
Most definitely. So I'll tell you one story. So client came in. I asked them how much they spend on a monthly basis, and they said, oh, maybe $300 or $400 a month on wine. I like to go out and have a drink. Did the budget? It was $3,000 or $4,000.
Wow.
You don't necessarily feel it when it's $5, $100, $20. When you're making that type of money, it's easy for it to kind of slip through your fingers. And that's one of the biggest issues that people have. Again, they don't pay themselves first. Then everything kind of goes wrong when anything happens, any bump in the road.
And believe me, I'm afraid to look at it because I'm going to see e-bikes and Amazon. But for those who say, well, I'm not in the category where I need to pay myself first, what do you say to those people putting your pot aside before tackling the bills? What range and income should you be at, or do you have to be at to even do that? Or is it everyone?
Well, it's everyone. So if you the report that you were talking about, it was roughly people under $50,000 a year said it was 57% of them were check to check, right? The sweet spot were the people from 200 to 300,000. They're actually at 16%, the ones that felt like they were check to check. So part of the problem that we face too is that we're trying to keep up with other people, right? This is what rich people do. A lot of times, the funniest thing, and I won't be controversial, when broke people tell you what rich people do, don't always listen, right? Because they don't necessarily know. And that's the thing. So now I make more money. I need to send my kids to private school. I need to drive this type of car. I need to join this country club. So your expenses go up when your income goes up, and that tends to be the big issue.
All right. Thank you, sir, for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and we'll be back with more Factor in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
This program is being brought to you by Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer.
And joining us now here on The Factor Uncensored, real estate extraordinaire, we have with us the man himself, Shad Bogany. And Shad, you know everything real estate, in and out of the industry. So what we brought you in to talk about today, many people are now starting to complain about what they consider misleading AI, artificial intelligence, enhanced photos when people are looking to buy a house. We have seen a lot of them, and I'm like, man, this house looks really nice, and you get there, you're like, what the hell is this? Shad, this is not what I saw in the photos. So what's going on with the industry?
Well, right now, AI is taking over everything, and it's gotten to a point now where I can go to a photo, give it green grass, put a pool in the backyard, put furniture in, but you have to put that on your photo that it is virtually staged or it has the grass is not green. For example, in the wintertime, when I took a picture of a property, I would say I've greened the grass because I can do it with AI. But I would also say this is how it's going to look in the springtime.
Now, I've seen some photos, but I haven't seen those disclosures on any of those photos. Are some people intentionally, or they may not know any better?
They may not know any better because we have rules that govern photos. So whenever you do a virtual photo or an AI, you need to let the consumer know, because it is misleading. You need to let the consumer know that these photos are been enhanced, as we call it.
As a buyer, if I get, or a prospective buyer, and I get there and I don't like what I see, and even if, can I just, you haven't signed any deal yet.
Right.
So it's best to actually lay eyes on a property and not by sight unseen or by photos, I would.
Keep in mind, Isaiah, that most people go to the internet first to look at the houses.
That's what I do.
Yeah, everybody goes there first. And I've been doing this long enough to remember when realtors took bad pictures and you got there and said, oh, this house is much nicer than the pictures look. Or it was worse. Now AI has taken it over, and AI is going to continue to be very active in our end. But we have rules that realtors are supposed to follow. They have to let you know that this is virtual furniture or anything that they've enhanced on there. And I've used AI. I've taken a gray sky and made it blue, or any of those sort of things. I've had a garage, and I wanted to show you the garage. I took everything out of the garage. Well, when you went to look at that house, you're going to see the garage completely filled. But I must tell you about it, and we have rules to follow to make sure. But if our members don't know, they're not active, that's the only listing they've ever had, they don't know what the rules are. We do have a system that does catch things that are breaking rules. But typically, the way it's going to get even worse, because now you can go to some vendors online and you can go in and I can take a picture of furniture and you hit AI and it takes the furniture out and then allow you to put pieces of furniture in there to see how your furniture would work.
And when you add furniture, you get a much better picture. It's much more appealing. But do you get the true nature, the true essence of that house with those photos that in some instances people say it's misleading?
Well, it can be, but we have the ability to put across the picture that is a virtually staged. We can put it in the...
Now, where is it supposed to go? Because I've looked at these pictures. I've never seen virtual or this is AI enhanced anywhere. Well, I go to the app.
Well, we have the ability to do it. I don't do it myself. I put it in my remarks. And the reason I do it that way...
So we got to do work, Shad. We got to do work to find out.
You got to look at the picture and then go down and read my remarks. And the reason I do it that way, because it messes up the picture. But it's, they put it in and it can be done, but it does mess up the picture. We have all these rules. You just got to follow them. And we're concerned that we don't want any misadvertising, misleading the public at all on these pictures. So there are very much a lot of rules to govern our photographs. For example, you got to have at least 6 photographs on a listing. But I would say you're going to see more and more of this. And you'll probably begin to see, on my side, we'll see fines when somebody reports. But as a consumer, if you see somebody do it, report it. And we immediately go after it once you go there. But most people don't. They've gone to look at the house. That's the reason they went to look at that house. And They go and look and they walk the house with it, and they'll tell you this house is not what I saw on photograph. I have a home right now. The lady has 5 cats. In her formal living and dining area, that's the cat room. So she's got them all. They're hanging. She's got everything cat in that form. That's the first thing you see when you walk in the house. Well, when I took that original picture, I'm like,
I got to get these damn cats out of here. They've got to go.
I ended up using digital to take them out. And I said, this photo's been enhanced. But if you saw my photo online, you walked in, you're looking to see formal living and dining. It's not that way. It's all cats.
All right. Shad Bargany, well, we're going to keep an eye on you and those cats. We appreciate you joining us here on The Factor.
Thank you so much.
And for those who would like to get more information from you and to find you, where can they go?
They can go to our website, bargany.com, or you can call me, 713-828-6075. And HAR is very proactive. And if you see something out there that misled you or the realtor didn't say, you need to call HAR and we will investigate it.
All right. And that's Houston Association of Realtors. Thank you, sir.
HomesandRentals.com.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more Factor Uncensored in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. If you're one of those parents out there who's looking for a scholarship for your child, or an individual's looking for a way to give back to the community, we have the perfect program going on for you. Joining us now here on The Factor Uncensored, we have with us Dr. Sonia Sloan, who's an orthopedic surgeon and founder of Sloan STEM. And of course, Dr. Sloan, you have a big event coming up. But first of all, for those individuals out there, we've all heard the word STEM thrown around for the last 20 years, but what is STEM?
STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math. And people are now adding on STEAM, which is adding the arts into that. And some people also add medicine because I'm in medicine. So yeah, it's just the acronym really more for the science and technology side of the arts is now included for some of the right brain people. But it's definitely a collective that is pushing for the future of technology in the United States and in the world.
For parents out there who are saying, well, how will this impact my child? Give them a picture, paint them a picture, a clear picture of how important STEM is to that child out there.
So I grew up in a small town, North Texas, Denison, never saw a female doctor. I never saw a black doctor. And so to see someone that looks like you, mentoring you in programs that are affordable for your children, as well as, you know, things that are the cutting edge with the best equipment, it makes a difference to what they may do in the future. And then most of the STEM fields are making six-figure salaries. And so you know that long-term, the longevity for most communities that are black and brown, it's very, very important to make sure that when things are being cut, not just the Voters' Right Act, also all of the things that have come down from the Supreme Court, we've got to shelter some things in place for them to be able to become that smart kid, become that academician, that they can actually have a career in a field that's going to sustain their life in their community. So that is STEM right now.
Now, there's an event where people in the community can get involved and help out and promote the future of young people here in this country. Tell us about that event coming up and what can we expect?
So Monday on May 4th, we will be at the Golf Club of Houston having the Dr. Timothy Sloan. It's our 4th annual Sloan STEM Scholarship Golf Tournament. And this is where we raise the funds to put our money where our mouth is to support these kids in our community. Having a camp is one thing, but having a camp that you can pay teachers a great stipend, also with equipment that's top notch and food and that kind of thing. And so this undergirds that. And so the guys get to come out, and ladies, because we do have a clinic as well for those newbie golfers. And we have some women that play full round. It's a wonderful event. Monday, 1 o'clock shotgun start. And this raises the funds for the rest of the year for what we do for our kids.
All right, Dr. Sonia Sloan, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored and the good that you do in our community.
Thank you, Isaiah. You too. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we'll be back with more Factor Uncensored in just a moment.
You're watching the Isiah Factor Uncensored.
Welcome back to the second half hour, The Factor Uncensored. Artificial intelligence is the latest inanimate accomplice in a double murder out of the Sunshine State. Prosecutors say 2 students at the University of South Florida were allegedly murdered, Zamil Lyman and Nahida Brewstein, by a man who turned to AI for help. Investigators say 26-year-old Hisham Abu Garbe, Lyman's off-campus roommate, reportedly asked ChatGPT how to dispose of bodies and questions about guns. He has since been arrested and charged. So what does this mean for our relationship with technology like AI that will absolutely rat you out to law enforcement? And joining us now to talk about this tragedy is Patrick Jones, who is a computer internet security expert. And of course, Patrick, when you think about the loss of these lives at the University of South Florida, 2 students killed, and the suspect in this case, according to prosecutors, used ChatGPT to look up how to get rid of a body,
right,
evidence, dispose of evidence. It's just shocking.
It's heart-throbbing. It really is. And unfortunately, this shows the viewers that you can leverage ChatGPT to do anything. However, I will say ChatGPT has to do a much better job of scanning conversations with ChatGPT, such as that, and then especially when it comes to imminent danger. There was imminent danger there, right? Whenever they queried how to dispose of a body,
right,
what happens if a body is in a trash bag and then goes into a dumpster, right? That's imminent danger to me. That should have then been sent over to the authorities, and it wasn't.
Do you think for some, though, maybe you're researching a movie, or you're creating a movie, or you're just looking up something macabre, and you end up law enforcement knocking at your door? So where do we draw the line there?
Well, I mean, to that point, if you're looking up a movie, then I want to see the movie
and
name
I'm
in
sorry,
there.
not looking up a movie.
Sure.
You're director.
Gotcha.
Say you're Sean.
Sure.
And you're directing a movie.
Right.
And you're looking for something to add to your movie using ChatGPT. But all of a sudden now, you could be a suspect, you know, for a murder that never happened or that will never happen.
Right. So, again, you shouldn't be using ChatGPT to look up stuff like that, right? The security measures in protocol for imminent danger is now going to increase. Rest assured. I've done some research, and there's quite a few lawsuits going on right now. So what that's going to do is that's going to ensure that companies like ChatGPT, Google, you name it, they're going to increase security measures. And frankly, you can't let anything slip.
And of course, more and more people are not, in some instances, and I hate to say this, not smart enough to realize they're leaving a trail behind when they look up these things on AI, Google. You know, investigators have been for years now going to people's Google searches if they're accused of a crime or suspected of a crime.
Sure, as they should. And so anytime that you query anything, right, that's considered a log, it's going to remain in Google's cloud or whatever you're using, ChatGPT's cloud. And at any point in time, law enforcement can use it against you, and they will use it against you. Now, going back to the individual who's not smart enough, there should be, from ChatGPT, we're talking about ChatGPT, but large language models, there should be some level of documentation that exceeds reading, right? Because we all have that user manual that's 26 pages, like a thesaurus, no one's reading it.
Right.
So
right.
now I think we should now veer into videos, okay, that give them use cases in scenarios that show them this is how you leverage the tool. You shouldn't leverage it this way, right? So that should be done.
And I think people need to realize you don't have a personal and I don't want to say intimate, but a personal relationship with your AI, because your AI will rat your ass out. Your AI will snitch on you.
Yes.
So it's better not to even contemplate using AI or Google if you're going to commit a crime. Better yet, don't commit a crime.
Don't commit a crime. Exactly. Don't commit a crime. Folks, remember ChatGPT is not a human, okay? It's not your psychologist. It doesn't have a soul. So you can put anything in there, but rest assured, the company has a fiduciary obligation to do what? Protect itself.
Yeah.
So again, yes, ChatGPT, any large language model is going to snitch on you in the right scenario.
And for those who are wondering, well, I used ChatGPT or Google and then I cleared my history, so I'm good.
Doesn't matter. So you'll clear what they classify as your history/cache, but rest assured, it's in the cloud and it's going to remain there for some time. In fact, if you read the small print.
And who does that, Patrick?
No.
Who reads that small print? But what does that small print read?
It's for indefinitely. Images, anything that you query, conversations that you have with large language models, indefinitely.
Wow. So, but we have seen a substantial, significant increase in the number of people going there foolishly trying to help themselves cover up a crime.
Absolutely. They're doing all types of mindless things when it comes to querying crimes, rape. I mean, you name it. And a lot of these things were being bred on the dark web. And now the dark web has been cracked, and now it's surfacing up to ChatGPT. There's some horrific things that are being searched right now.
We'll take a quick break here with Patrick Jones. We'll be back with more Factor Uncensored in just a moment as we continue to explore using AI to help with the crime. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We have been watching this horrific case out of South Florida where an individual used artificial intelligence to try and figure out how to dispose of bodies and, of course, get rid of evidence. And Patrick Jones joins us here again on The Factor Uncensored to talk about this. For those of us who may be amateur sleuths and we expect a family member being a killer or our children being killed, is there any way we can search their ChatGPT or their Google even if they've cleared it or report them?
So If you suspect,
or a friend,
right? So friend, family member, you name it. If you suspect that they're not quite all there upstairs, then yes, by all means, you should report it. You don't have access to go in unless you have their login information. You don't have access to go in and search what they've queried in the past, right? So their logs, you can't. However, if you're a parent and you have a parent guardian type of account, you do have access to do that. Okay? But if you're, say, you're my brother, and you're like, you know what? Something's going on with Patrick. I want to check his ChatGPT. There's no way unless you have the password.
And what would be your advice for parents who may be concerned about their children, who may be reclusive, not have friends? You know, we've seen the profile. You know, parents said, well, I just thought he was in his room playing video games, and he was down there planning a mass shooting.
Right? So there are mechanisms out there in tools that allow you to monitor what your kids are doing, literally on their device, right? So you can monitor their screen, you can monitor what they're typing, you can monitor what websites that they're going to. So you do have access to that. In addition to that, I would tell every parent, you should know your child's login information. And every now and then when Johnny's outside playing, or let's just say he's downstairs eating dinner, you should go into his room and just see what's going on, right? Because the internet is a vast world. There's so many things that individual, your son, your daughter, family, friend, whomever, can get themselves into. And if you're a parent or a parental figure, you have to know what's going on under your roof.
Mom, Dad, get out of my room. What do you tell them?
I don't care. This is my house, my rules, and you need to abide by them.
I pay these damn bills.
Exactly.
Open this door, right, Sean? There you go. Patrick Jones, thank you for joining us with some great advice. And, of course, we want to help parents and provide all the information out there to our viewers. Stay off of ChatGPT or AI and Google trying to figure out how to hide those bodies, guys. We'll be back with more Factor Uncensored in just a moment. Stay with us.
I want the largest concert tour there ever was. Thousands of people all over the world.
That's ambitious.
And welcome back. Of course, there is the movie, my now favorite movie of the year. And another huge fan is joining me, a Michael Jackson fan. We have Sean Welling, who's a director, choreographer, and you know many of the people in Michael Jackson's inner circle. Now, obviously, the success of this movie is just mind-blowing. Of course, broke a lot of records, did way better than many of the critics expected. Of course, they hated it in the reviews. The fans loved it. It has become more than just a movie. It's an event. People are dancing in movie theaters. It's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show back in those days, but Michael Jackson style. But when you have, first of all, your thoughts on the movie?
A masterpiece. And I would never think I would say that. But it was more than just, I love Michael and I love the history. Put all that aside, I was really ready to be critical. My wife said, let's go. I don't like to see dancing movies. I don't want to go see more dancing. You know, I've done that all my life. And I sit there, and as a movie director, I found it to be just an exceptional film. The pacing, the acting, the cinematography, and the resolution of bringing tears of joy, of laughter. It was a funny film. Yeah. And those moments where you just want to get off your seat and cheer.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
Fantastic.
I loved it. I loved it. But with success like this, we will see haters. And you and I both know Michael Jackson has gone through this his whole professional career, even when he was alive. You know, he would release an album, well, it didn't do as good as Thriller. Or he would release a video, well, it didn't do as good as Thriller. Bad is not better than Thriller. Always looking for something negative to say. They did that at the release of the movie, and it simply did not work with the fans. But now you have also former accusers coming out. They're hoping to get the limelight as a result of this movie, claiming that they've been victimized. Your thoughts about that?
Well, there's new accusers, and right now, if you go to the New York Times, there's a big article about the new accusers and the ones from Leaving Neverland.
And the New York Times wouldn't give a crap if this movie wasn't out.
Yes, exactly. I think part of the thing about Michael Jackson, if I could go back, is before the internet, there was the tabloid magazine you would pick up, and it was always Michael Jackson, something weird or off or not centered. And then you see him talk with Diane Sawyers. You see his interviews, and he's absolute at peace. He's centered. He's loving. His eyes never shift. He's direct. And he's really somebody that we all should have looked up to back then, and I think we do more so now than ever because of what he went through.
And as a fan, how do you take, like, the new accusers coming out and seeing all of the old garbage pulled back out? How do you deal with that?
Well, it doesn't affect me because
I just swipe by.
I just swipe by, right? And I think it really affected me when Leaving Neverland came out because, of course, I knew the lead accuser. He was my friend. He taught at my school.
And for those who don't know who you're talking about,
that's Wade Robeson, and
a dancer.
He was a dancer, probably the person that spent the most time with Michael Jackson as a child, and he also was the lead defendant when Michael Jackson went under for the first accusation. He went under oath, and Wade said nothing ever happened. I had dinner multiple times with Wade, and he spoke of how fond he was of going to the ranch and how great Michael was, and he made lots of money. When he went to my studio, he got big paychecks because everybody loved his choreography. So I think, and I want to sum up what happens when somebody makes this amount of money, and think Taylor Swift, since she's been alive, hasn't even made near as much as Michael Jackson since he's passed. Billions of dollars. So there's a lot to go after. But I do understand the biggest allegations, and that's because Wade stood by Michael's side all along, and he loved Michael. And then after Michael passed, he was going to be the choreographer for the Cirque du Soleil show. Cirque du Soleil wanted him. It was a big career movement. And Cirque du Soleil said, we just need you to get the blessing from the estate. And the estate said, no, we don't want you to be the choreographer. So that's when he turned and he said, I'm going to file suit. He got Safe Chuck to go up against the estate with him. And, of course, he's lost again and again and again. And that's really what's happened.
Wow. And so hearing that, have you had a chance to reach out to Wade at any point? Have you guys talked since these allegations came out or since he made the allegations?
When he made the allegations at first, I did connect with him, and I said, what are you doing, you know? And other choreographers I've talked to that are very close to Wade. And it's a very difficult place to be because the people that I blame the most aren't necessarily the accusers, but the people believing the accusers, like Oprah and Trevor Noah, these other people that actually promoted this when you know it was a lie. And the good news is that he's gone past all that. Michael's bigger and better than ever because of it. He is now that underdog that superseded all this negativity, and even in his grave, he's able to come back and be number one once again.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, beyond Bohemian Rhapsody and the Elvis, which were both phenomenal, this is like light years ahead of that.
Yeah.
And it just makes me such great joy to see this, the success of the underdog.
All right. Well, it's still in theaters. If you want to get out and get to see, or you haven't seen Michael yet, it's still at movie theaters, so go check it out. Sean, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and we'll be back with more Factor in just a moment. Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. They're living legends, and they're coming to Houston to perform. But before that, our Coco Dominguez chat with the talented divas who will soon take the stage in H-Town.
Ladies, I appreciate your time. What a pleasure it is to have all of you here together. And you're getting ready to start your third leg. How are you enjoying the tour?
We're enjoying it. We haven't been doing it lately, but we've enjoyed the first and second part of it.
And Miss Shaka Khan, we have been loving you and everything that you have brought. How are you feeling now with all of the icons? What does this tour mean to you to be able to share the stage?
It's a one-off. You know, this is the last time something like this is going to probably happen.
Wow.
And that makes it special to me. So that's what compelled me to be a part of this project.
Well, we're so grateful. Miss Stephanie Mills, I was listening to you probably before I should have been. Through my little junior high breakups. But the music and everything you provided for us, it's so timeless and we appreciate it. And what does it mean for you to be coming back to Houston and just really giving us, like Shaka Khan said, something that will not happen again?
Well, I don't know if I would say that it will not happen again. I mean, it could happen with other people. But we've had such a great time, and I'm looking forward to it. We're going to give a great show. We love each other, and it's fun. It's fun, but it will happen again.
Oh, I love to hear that. I love to hear that.
Go for it.
She said, I got some other plans right now. And Miss
Baby, I got other plans.
And Miss Patty, I got a chance to meet you when you came down here, and we had your pancake mix, and we enjoyed a good time at Kroger. Thank you so much for coming back here to the city. What do you want your audiences to feel? But when they walk out after, including Miss Gladys Knight as well, just taking us down those classics.
We want them to just have a good time. It's not anything deep. We are older women, 4 Black women coming out and showing love and sisterly love.
I hope the same thing that Stephanie hopes, and we know for a fact the 4 women not trying to do better than each other or anything like that, no egos. And hopefully the audience will see that we all can get along, because we do. And we sing and we do our show, and then we leave and try to watch a piece of each other's act if we can.
Thank you so much for your time, and really for the music and everything that you've given to us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Of
You're
course.
welcome.
We'll see you in Houston. I love all of you.
And we want to thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. Remember to follow us on our new YouTube page at Isiah Factor Uncensored. And, of course, follow us on social media as well. And don't forget to download the Foxo app. That'll do it for us. See you back here next time.